All right, welcome. Let me get up the live stream. Let me click on it so I can see all your comments. Make sure we get as many people in here as possible. How can I minimize this? There we go. All right. Sorry I'm a bit late on this. Obviously, Instagram is popping off. My phone is just blowing up at the moment. Chris Froome leaving Ineos. You've probably already all seen it. We already got 100 people watching right now. Now, the reason I had to wait 3 hours to do this is because I just eaten a curry and 2 naan breads, and I was about to load up Warzone. I had a Coke Zero with the boys, so I was in no state to be live streaming. We already got 240 in the chat. Is this the biggest news we've had this year? I mean, I ain't starting to discuss it till we got 500 in the chat, honestly. I can keep drinking the sparkling all day. I'm going to have to put this on members only or something. On the live chat, it's popping off too much. Alright, the stream is looking good. I presume you can all hear me fine. Is it a little bit too loud? Is it a little bit too close to my mouth? I don't mind. Just tell me in the live chat, read the audio, if the audio is alright, or if it's a bit too loud. I know the microphone's quite close to my mouth. Anyway, emergency live stream. I'm going to get the sunglasses on in a second. Because this is big news and the light is bright in my face at 11 o'clock at night. Alright, audio's fine, we're all good, let's get into it. Change over to this. Hold on, let's go to the Instagram announcements. We're going to analyze in great detail what has actually just happened. Who went first? It was, changing over. Ineos announced this first on their Instagram page, and I got sent it immediately. I hope you can see it on the screen there now. Ineos announced, Team Ineos confirms we will not be renewing Chris Froome's contract, so after 10 great years, this season will be Chris's last with the team. We've got grey skies in the background, alright? We've got grey skies. Chris Froome is kind of grimacing in the photo. It's not him with his hands in the air, yellow jersey winning, celebration. I feel like already, maybe this pathetic fallacy with the, Mount mic is too close, sounds cracking. All right, hold on. Let me turn it down. Is it still cracking now, or is it better now? Let me know if the mic is better now, if it's still cracking. Anyway, I think already it's not like the greatest announcement. I feel like Ineos's hands have been forced because Israel Startup Nation were announcing it too early. Because we'll get to La Flamme Rouge tweets in a second, but I don't think typically they're not allowed to announce a signing before August 1st. It's obviously July 8th right now. Mic's too quiet now. People saying better now. You guys may have to make up your mind. I'll turn it up a little bit. I'll go to like 12.7. I'll go to 12.7, 12.5. Alright, I'm in my new apartment. Obviously, that's why the setup ain't great. I'm even streaming this off my laptop screen right now. So, what was your first reaction? Were you surprised right now? Were you surprised to see that Chris Froome is leaving Ineos? I mean, we've been hearing about this for what feels like a month now. I mean, it was, I think, Gregor Brown or someone on Twitter said that the Israel Startup Nation thing was locked in, and then we've heard nothing, and it all seemed like everyone gone quiet. He's staying at Ineos, and then bang, this announcement just came out today that he's leaving Ineos, and it didn't. This to me, the way Ineos have done this, maybe I'm reading into it too much. This announcement from Ineos seems like a last minute our hand was forced, not prepared one, because I would have expected like a long paragraph, a proper press release. Maybe it is on their website, a proper press release, but I would have expected that. Maybe some photos with him. He won like 7 Grand Tours, the man. Rather than this, the most recent. This looks like the most recent photo of them they found when he was training, and they're confirming he's not renewing. So what I think has happened, and I obviously, as usual, I know nothing. I got no insight into anything. This is all just what I think has happened. I think Israel Startup Nation, I don't know why they haven't changed their Instagram handle to Israel Startup Nation from Israel Cycling Academy. Maybe they can't do it. I think they were going to announce it. They said, listen, we're announcing it today, and you can get ahead of it and announce it, Ineos, but we're announcing it today, July 8th. And I'll get to whether they were able to do it or not later, or whether they should have been able to do that. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I think that's what happened. And so Israel Startup Nation, Chris Froome, and I haven't seen in neither of the posts, like in the Israel Startup Nation post here, it doesn't say how much Chris Froome is making. Reports from a variety of people are saying that he's making €5 million a year base at Israel Startup Nation. I don't think he was on that much at Ineos, but I guess on his base salary, but maybe with incentives and stuff, winning Grand Tours, it probably would have been quite a lot more than that. So he's going to Israel Startup Nation, a contract, they say, if we go to it, Team Israel Startup Nation is extremely proud to announce that 4-time Tour de France winner, 2-time Vuelta winner, 1-time Giro winner will be joining their team, not in August this year, at the start of 2021. And I should have said that. That is why this is so strange. And that's why I think Ineos weren't planning on announcing it. Can it say in the chat, guys, what reason would Ineos have to announce that Froome is leaving before the end of this season? Why would they want to do that? Like, I don't feel like Ineos have any incentive to do that, to be honest. This is going to make their Tour de France trident or leadership battle even more. The media is going to focus on that. Everyone's going to be looking for cracks in that, and it's going to be, rather than, oh, well, maybe if Froome's staying, they're all going to ride together and be more of a team, guys. So, yeah, I feel like Israel Startup Nation just wanted to get that announcement out there. They did. They said it's a historic moment for Israel Startup Nation, Israeli sports. I mean, yeah, Chris Froome is I said, as you know, on January 1st, I declared Chris Froome the best rider in the 2010 to 2020 decade. And I think he was, and I still stand behind that. And yeah, they've just picked him up. They've got him because it's just been, I mean, that's what we'll never know, and it's impossible to know, like, how much Chris Froome has disclosed to Israel Startup Nation. Like, if you're going to offer someone €5 million, if someone's getting €5 million a year base salary, you'd hope, you'd expect that it's not just because his name is Chris Froome, but they've seen his power data. And I mean, we've seen it on Strava recently. He's been doing good training rides, etc. I don't think we've seen any, like, big efforts that he's put on Strava. But, sorry, geez, I can't even see your comments. But I presume they've got some inclination that he's kind of back to being Chris Froome, or the top, a top level general classification contender. Obviously, Ineos don't think that way, and I've got my views on this. I said a month ago or so, maybe even longer. I went on a limb and I said, listen, anyone want to put up, what was it, up to like $5,000 or was it $2,000? I can't remember. I said, anyone want to put up that amount of money at, I think it was 6-1 on Froome winning the Tour de France, I'll lay that. I'll lay Froome winning the Tour de France. Now, those odds haven't moved on this announcement, by the way. He's still 7.2, 7.4, or 6.2, 6.4 in English betting, in fractional betting. So that's strange. Roglic has gone in from 9 to 7, the liquidity, but there wasn't much liquidity on Betfair. That's moved in. But I just think, because Froome is still going to be at Ineos this year, right? But you'd have to think that if they're announcing and they're not renewing his contract for 2021, they're not going to be riding for Chris Froome. They didn't really match Israel Startup Nation's contract. They've got Bernal, the favourite, last year's winner, and he's the favourite objectively. He is the shortest odds on Betfair. They've got probably the third favourite, Geraint Thomas. He's probably third, fourth favourite with Pinot. I mean, Roglic, I think I'd prefer, but yeah, it's going to be, like, how would that work? Let's imagine a world, right? Imagine a world where Chris Froome is just, against all odds, against all expectations, proving me completely wrong, making a fool out of me. Imagine if Chris Froome is just unreal, right? Unreal in this year's Tour de France and, destroys everyone, comes back, wins on La Planche de Belleville, like wins that time trial, wins the yellow jersey. Imagine if he did that, and then Israel Startup Nation are like, yep, and we've signed him for the next 3 years. I don't think it will happen, but I always think Ineos a pretty smart outfit. I'd expect that they know. Can you guys get out of the live chat? All my friends are just trying the live chat. I'd expect that Ineos are confident that he's probably not going to be that good for the next 4 years. Otherwise, they would have offered him a contract. I saw on Twitter that he is, I think, if he won the Tour this year, he'd be the second oldest ever to win the Tour, and like Cadel was the fourth oldest ever. So a lot of things are counting against him. We just hit 1,000 in the live chat. That's pretty good. So let's go across. I was looking at Israel Startup Nations on Social Blade. I was trying to look up there, see how many followers they got. I think they've already got, let's see, Israel Startup Nation already gathered, yeah, like 600, 700 followers. Oh, and I should say, coming back to me, by the way. I'm going to be doing, you listen up, get your little notepads out. Big announcement for y'all. I'm going to be doing a debate/discussion with your boy Cameron Jeffers tomorrow. Not on my channel, not on his channel, on the British broadcaster ITV Sports channel. So I'm going to be doing that. There'll be some Tour de France footage mixed in there. If you're in the UK, or if you just want to subscribe to the ITV Sport YouTube channel, the link is in the description below. As you know, I'll announce it now. Why not? Because there's 1,000 of you here. As you know, current Tour de France footage, it's hard for your boy to analyse that stuff. So a win-win scenario for me and for you in the UK. Don't worry, I'll still be doing live streams, commentaries, analysis during the Tour de France, but for full stage analysis, etc., during this year's 2020 Tour, I'll be doing them for ITV Sport on their YouTube channel. And so yeah, their Instagram and YouTube channels down there below. That gives me access to that full HD footage, no more 360p, 240p, and as much of it as I want. And they're letting me do it full as my normal style of videos. So they're on board with that. But anyway, in 24 hours on their channel, I'll be talking to Jeffers about what this means for Froome, and a video, not a live stream, you know, and how this is, what Froome's meant for British cycling, what he thinks about it from a British perspective. I'm probably a little bit more cynical about Froome, etc. But yeah, I appreciate all your support, guys. I hope you think that's a good thing. I'm glad you guys, I'm reading the live chat right now saying congrats, etc. So that's all good to see. But anyway, their Instagram, their YouTube's down below. It's just going to be me. It's going to be my videos on their channel, to be honest. So like, that's awesome for me, awesome for them. It'll be good for you guys as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of the self-promotion. Transition back. So La Flamme Rouge said this on Twitter. Now, I mean, I like to do a little bit internet detectiving and some sleuthing, right? But he's just taken it to the next level with this one. He found a web archive clip of Chris Froome's header on his Twitter from May 11th, 2020. Okay, so that's what, nearly 2 months ago. This is insane, man, right? This is insane. If you don't follow La Flamme Rouge on Twitter, or Mihai Kazaku, Fausto Coppi, etc., I don't know what you're doing. And Matheropili, the Finnish dude who does the VAM stuff, he's lit. Anyway, La Flamme Rouge. So you see the header right there in the photo? You probably can't see it, but you can go to his Twitter and see it better and enlarge the image. I'll just click it up. See that header? Those are Palestinian flags. So that is now, if we go to Chris Froome's Twitter, let's see if we can go there. I don't think that header is there anymore. And come on, please prove me right. Yeah, it's not there anymore. So that was the first tell. The first tell was that Chris Froome took down a header that had Palestinian flags in it off his Twitter. So that is, hats off. I'm not taking my hat off. Hats off to La Flamme Rouge for finding that out. That's pretty crazy. But anyway, let's actually, now that we've done the analysis, not analysis, we haven't done any analysis. Now that we've mentioned what's happening, Chris Froome joining Israel Startup Nation, Start of 2021 season next year, leaving Ineos, but still going to be riding for Ineos in 2020 season. Froome has said, what am I showing you? Froome has said on, I think it was a Cycling News article, that he will be riding the Tour de France this year for Ineos. Now, he said that, but I don't see anything from Ineos that's saying that. So it seems like, yeah, Froome's saying he's going for his 5th Tour de France this year. I haven't seen Ineos confirm that. I'm assuming he's going to ride his the Tour de France for Ineos this year. I hope that's the case. That'd be great to see, and I'd be really surprised if that didn't happen. But that's not been confirmed by Ineos yet. But let's go across to... I'll skip Chris Froome's Palmares, and I think it'll be actually better to go to... Sorry, my phone has been blowing up, man. Oh, and by the way, I should say, if you're in Australia, the ITV Sport YouTube channel link, it might be geo-blocked if you're in Australia. So I think if you're in the UK, it'll work. I should have clarified that. So in the UK, it's UK broadcaster. Baby steps, guys. Okay, we'll get there. Eventually, we'll take over the world, etc. But yeah, UK and maybe Europe. But Australia, the link probably won't work. Follow the Instagram as well. That'll be easier for everybody, because then on the Instagram, anyone ungeo-blocked will be able to access it. Excuse me. All right, we're going to go to Israel Startup Nation's roster, okay? And this is the scary bit, right? If you're Chris Froome. If you're Chris Froome, you're looking at this Israel Startup Nation roster and you're thinking, what on earth? Have I gone the wrong one? No, career points. What on earth is this, right? So the best rider for Chris Froome in support is Dan Martin. Dan Martin isn't really a support rider. I don't remember him ever riding as a domestique in general classification. He's sort of been a guy that's tried to get a top 10 in Tour de France in the last 10 years. He'll occasionally go for stage wins, etc. It's just not a good team at all. Sorry, I gotta... Hold on. Whew, I was talking too much. All right. Let's see if these will help. I mean, look at this squad, man. And I'm not just being harsh. This isn't my words. You know what their boss said? I'm not sure it was their owner, Sylvan Adams, or someone. He literally said, right? He said, like 3-4 weeks ago, I don't even have a World Tour squad. Israel Startup Nation, we barely have any World Tour level riders. Pretty harsh, to be honest, but he said something along those lines. And when you look at this roster, who they've got, I'm 100% sure they're going to be signing some other big names. You can't just sign Chris Froome, make a splash for cash, and then try and then expect him to do well without any support. So some people are saying, oh, maybe Richie Porte might go there. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd be very surprised if that happens. No way. I'm pretty sure some other big names are going to get signed. Some young, good climbers. They're going to be cleaning house, and they're going to be getting in some better riders. Niels Pollitt, I think, is really, really good. I think their best riders are Niels Pollitt, Hugo Hofstadter, and Ben Hermans. I like Ben Hermans. Dan Martin's kind of on the decline as well. But yeah, if you're Chris Froome looking at that roster and maybe looking at their coaching staff and support staff as well, you're going to be thinking, we're going to have to change up a lot of things. I mean, what do you guys think? Let's hit me up with some comments. There's so many comments. Do a super chat if you really want me to read it out. Otherwise, I'll probably miss it. I got half my friends trolling in the chat. What do you want to know about the Chris Froome signing with Israel Startup Nation? I mean, look at his Palmares, man. Look at his Palmares with Sky, and all he gets is that. He won 7 fucking tours. I mean, probably not my favourite rider, from just purely, I like Nibali and stuff, but he was the best rider of the decade for me, and he gets 5 lines on the Instagram. I mean, Jesus, 4 Tour de France, 2 Vuelta, 3 Criterium de Dauphiné, 7 stages in the Tour. I think he's a very exciting rider. I don't actually think Chris Froome was a particularly defensive rider. I think that's a false narrative, and he's actually quite an exciting rider. 2 Romandy, 1 GC Giro d'Italia. You want to talk exciting? Zoncolan, GC Giro d'Italia. 5 stages of Vuelta, but never a top 50, I don't think, in a one-day race, and I held that against him. But he's still, yeah. What do you think in the chat? Do you think that Froome, that Ineos think he's done? Do you think that it's just a money thing and that Ineos weren't prepared to pay him €5 million a year, given he's like 36 years old? What do you think? I think it could be a combination of all those things. I think he might be... Okay. Let's go back full screen for y'all for my actual take. I think that Froome is pretty much back to 90 to 95% of where he would have been if he hadn't had the crash, minus maybe some fitness from racing and stuff that he would have had if he'd been able to race. So I think he's okay. I just think his numbers may have suffered a natural decline because he's like 36 years old, isn't he? And he's getting quite old. He will be 36 maybe when the Tour de France is on. So Ineos are just like, they're like the New England Patriots, man. That's who they are. I think Ineos, New England Patriots. You don't pay people on past performance. You pay them on future performance. Even though they do have the biggest budget, €5 million a year is a lot of money. That's pre-incentives. So, I know that he has won 7 Grand Tours for them, but they've got Egan Bernal. If you've seen that song, they've got Egan Bernal, maybe the best general classification rider in the world. Possibly. I prefer Pogacar I think, but top 3 at least. Geraint Thomas, 2018 winner of the Tour de France. Sosa, Sivakov, Dylan van Baarle, all those guys training the roof down, looking really, really good. They still got Jonathan Castroviejo, do they? So they've still got a stacked roster. They just signed the 2019 Giro d'Italia winner, Richard Carapaz. So when they're then faced with, do we pay an aging Chris Froome, who maybe it's uncertain how he's going to go in the races? He hasn't really raced seriously for a very, very long time, close to 18 months. When the Tour comes around, if you're not counting the UAE Tour when he got popped early, when he was just trying to get some race fitness, they're really going to... Oh, sorry, he's 35. He will be 35 at the end of this year. Like, they're just not going to pay that amount of money for him. And Chris Froome's over here thinking, well, I just won 7 Grand Tours for you. You should pay me... You should pay me my money. Pay me what I'm worth. So that's what I think's happened. It happens all the time in other sports. It just doesn't happen as frequently in cycling. In other sports, NFL, you get older, NBA, you don't get paid as much. That's just... is there really a disc brake? Is there a disc brake debate going on in the comments right now? Man. Anyway, I think what I'm going to end on is that... What I'll end on before I get to some comments is I look forward to next year. We haven't seen the 2021 Tour de France route, I don't think. Next year, Col d'Izarat, Alpine stage, high altitude. Chris Froome, he's going for the yellow jersey. Who comes out? Alex Dowsett, man. High altitude, dropping Egan Bernal off the wheel, Richie Porte style. Launches Chris Froome into the moon, and Alex Dowsett goes down in British history. That's what we want, and then his channel will pop off even more. I can't wait to see it. Anyway, let's see some actual... Man, I just see a disc brake debate right now in the comments. I don't even see some... Yeah, Tom Verity says, same thing happened to Dwayne Wade. He wanted a Kobe contract. Exactly. Dwayne Wade in the NBA, he wanted big money when he was already... he's kind of getting old, and they said, we're not going to pay you that much. Geraint Thomas only a year younger. Well, Geraint Thomas, he's been drifting a lot on Betfair recently if you look at Geraint Thomas, Betfair odds in Tour de France, I said this to Beric this morning, he's not looking like... looks like someone knows something, because he's like 4th, 5th favourite. I'd prefer Pinot and Roglic over him. And do I think Wout Poels will go to Israel Startup Nations Domestique for Froome? No, I don't think so. I doubt it. Do Ineos share bonuses equally during Grand Tours? I'm not really sure what they do. It depends from team to team, depends on what the contracts are. Sam Wellsford says, easy clap. 1v1 me in the gulag. All right. Okay, well, it's descended into a disparate debate. As I said, if you're in the UK, hey, I need someone in the UK to tell me right now. None of my mates who are trolling me. Someone in the UK, can you tell me, is the link to the ITV Sport YouTube channel that I've put in the description to this video working for you? Could you let me know that in the live chat? Otherwise, this has been crazy. This is Chris Froome leaving Ineos, the end of an era, the best general classification rider in the 2010 to 2020 decade. That's not debatable at all. What bikes? We haven't even mentioned, by the way, what bikes are they going to ride at Israel Startup Nation? Is he going to bring Pinarellos over? Can Factor afford to sponsor a team with Chris Froome on it? Yeah, the boys say the link is working. Yay! Okay, so who do you think? Comment down below in the live chat. I want to see in the live chat which bikes you think, Pinarello or what kit manufacturer? I think they still got the Katusha ones at the moment. So I don't think Factor are gonna. I don't think Factor are gonna be able to afford that. I don't know when the Wellsford. Can you get the fuck out of here, man? All right, we got 1,400. This has been a record for the live stream. Make sure to check me out on Instagram. Thanks for supporting the channel. I know I haven't been posting as much. If you want to know personally, guys, I quit my job pretty much yesterday. I left my job, so that's another bit of news, by the way. So that I can give you guys some more troll content, so that I can maybe get a pair of extra Fly Sunnies and keep wearing Adidas as much as I want. So, yeah, quit my job, going to be doing the blog. Comment as well who you want me to do a podcast with. Pick anyone in the world who you think would be good for me as a co-host to a podcast. You'll be doing the ITV Tour de France videos on their channel, their YouTube channel, and their hub. But yeah, they're going to do the Jeffers discussion tomorrow. And yeah, I've run out of steam with coronavirus, guys. I've run out of steam. Like, I know I've been trying to make as many videos as possible for y'all during Corona with no cycling on, and I've run out of steam with work. The lack of current racing's destroyed my inspiration a little bit. So maybe I'll try and find some like Trobro, Leon, gravel 240p footage from like 2015 to keep us going. The Tadej Pogačar, Roglic, Slovenian national champs kind of, teased us a little bit, because now that happened and there's been a massive gap. But yeah, obviously I've tried to contact Dr. Ferrari already to do a podcast with. He won't get back to me. If anyone can help in that regard, that would be great. But this is me signing out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And I'll probably just keep posting spam on Instagram. I don't think this is the last of what we heard, of what we're going to hear about the Ineos Froome stuff, because